Have you ever pondered the role of astrological chart in Vice President of US Kamala Harris? Dive with us into the astrological factor, one of the world's most influential woman. And Kamala Harris, standing on the central left of the political spectrum, is blending the legacy as a prosecutor, but also the very much progressive initiatives. Her credentials encompass the stance against the building the border wall, also standing for the healthcare for all, advocating for the climate change, for the Green New Deal, and of course pushing the gender equality. If we see her natal chart, she is Gemini Lagna, and we have 1 degree 4 minutes, and we have Rahu in the ascendant, in the Rashi, and in the Navamsha. And she has the AA rating, so we have very strong source, but she is at the border, only 1 degree, so we can see how only few minutes shift can change the ascendant in Rashi, Navamsha, and Dashamsa. So I'm confident these ascendants are right. We have Sun in the 6th house in the Dashamsa, which is showing her political acumen, and we have Jupiter 10th lord, so she was qualified for being a lawyer. Also, the Navamsa chart is nicely showing the time events of her career life progress. We are also seeing that she has a full moon in the 11th house, which is showing a lot of fulfilled projects. This moon is very powerful. It's akin to a second Jupiter. We have also very prominent yogas like Malika yoga from Moon to Venus. These two are very important for leadership. We have a chakra yoga, 3rd lord is in the 5th house. We have the Lakshmi yoga, which brings the blessings of elders, 9th lord in the 1st house, Rahu. I also have the same position, and we know that she is coming from that mixed background, and this is very nicely marked by this Rahu placement. She has also Kendra Daridra, 6th lord, Ketu is in the 7th, Alto is exalted, but 7th lord is also in another Dushtana. So we have Dushtana lord in the Kendra and Kendra lord in Dushtana. This means that the 7th house brings a little bit problematic situation. This could manifest as, for example, delayed marriage. We have also this quite original Dharma Karma Dipati Yoga, 9th lord, Trikona lord, which is bringing the fortune. We know that 5th and 9th are for the fortune. 9th lord in the Lagna is aspecting the 10th lord Ketu. So this Rahu Ketu is here bringing the Raja Yoga. And should we refine our interpretation with the Navamsha Lagna here setting, liberal Lagna here is bringing the moon and sun, the two very important planets when it comes to this political influence, having the aspect, the Rasi Drishti on the 10th house. So you need to know the Rasi Drishti to understand how these two planets are influencing the 10th house in the Navamsha chart of fortune. And we also have Rahu in the Lagna. This is reflected in her political skills, diplomacy, and strategic thinking. We know that she was addressing the very important issues in the Central America. We also know that she became the vice president Rahu Mercury, and she also had a trouble to Guatemala and Mexico on Rahu Mercury. We see that Mercury is in the Dashamsa in the chart of work in the 7th house of winning over enemies, especially with 6th lord there. And also for Gemini Lagna, Sagittarius is the badhaka sign, which means it's often giving the foreign travels. In August 2014, she was married to lawyer Douglas Amhoff. They were introduced by a mutual friend and dated 1 year before the marriage. He is an excellent lawyer, and he was especially skilled and trained in entertainment issues and intellectual property. This is reflected in Rashi and in Navamsha. In the Rashi, the main chart, we have a 7th lord Jupiter, but that would be too general, right? That would mean that 1/12 of population is marrying to lawyers or teachers. So in the Navamsha, this will bring more detailed information, especially when we talk about the independent nature of our relationship or our partnership. It couldn't be more clear. It couldn't be better reflected than the Mars-Jupiter yoga in the Navamsha, including the 7th lord. So we can get very accurate information about the spouse when we are using the Navamsha chart. So what are the points for the late marriage? We have a malefic in the 9th house because it's 3rd from the 7th. It's very much related to commitment. If there is malefic there, this could bring delay. Jupiter is also Darakaraka, and on the level of Charakarakas, we call this spirit level, Jupiter doesn't like houses in the 3rd from its placement, and here we have the Atma Karaka debilitated. Also the debilitated Graha in the 2nd house, 2nd of the family, 6th lord is there, also is not the best. So it's like Dara Karaka is rejecting the Atma Karaka. Now that Saturn, this is very important now for relationship because it controls the whole emotional acumen of the person, is in the watery, controls the whole water because it's the Titesha, the lord of the Titi or the lunar day. And we have the 6th lord in the 7th house and 7th lord in the 12th house. So all of these points are contributing to this delayed marriage. Okay guys, if you enjoyed this video so far, do me a favor and click that like button. Let's see if we can hit the whooping 100 likes on this one. And if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss any future content. Get thoughts or feedback, then please comment below. I love to hear from you. If you're looking to join a vibrant community on the Discord, then you can find the link in the description. Alright, enough said, let's dive right back into the video. Harris has spoken about her challenges related to identity, as she was the child of immigrants from India and Jamaica. And during her professional life, she encountered the complexities related to her racial identity and her belonging. And her mother is a Shyamala Gopalan Harris. She's coming from India. They traveled to US and she was very well known. Was a breast cancer researcher and also civil rights activist. So we can appreciate this Rahu in Lagna giving this mixed backgrounds, but because this is a 9th lord in the Lagna, this Rahu will give her a lot of blessings. And her main success is that vice president role, of course, but I want to focus on the presidential campaign, which was kind of flop because she suspended it in December 2019 because of lack of funds and also the dropping poll numbers. This decision of suspension came even before the first voting cast. The suspending the whole campaign can be very emotionally challenging experience, especially when there was high hopes and expectations involved. That suspension of the campaign happened in the Rahu-Saturn using the Navamsha. For this general event we can use the dasha, even when the Kevala-Dasha here is the prominent, we could say more dominating choice for the timing system, because dispositor of the moon is Atmakaraka Mars. Mars is Ashkesha, so we are starting the whole order of what's going on from the Mercury. So she became the vice president in that Kevala Dasha in Rahu Jupiter. Jupiter is 10th lord in the Rashi and in the Dashamsa, so of course it's very powerful. But Vimshottari is also very accurate with that Rahu and Mercury. But let's see the timing of that suspension of career life, because that is what I want to discuss in this video. That is the main central topic, and this was in Rahu-Saturn using the Vimshottari and Rahu-Rahu using the Kevala-Vimshottari. Now this suspension was because of the lack of support, we can say, lack of fans and poll numbers dropping. So this is all about 5th house, which is showing the followers. So let's see how Saturn is influencing the 5th house in the chart. So the whole video could be basically related to the 5th house, somehow afflicted or related to Saturn, or showing some lack of support. So this is very interesting because we see that in one period of life we have this lack of support, but this is not defining her whole life, because just one antardasha later she became the vice president. But this could be another karma, this could be another segment of events, another segment of karma. So in one antardasha she is getting the whole defeat, and in the next antardasha, in the next sub period, she is becoming the vice president. Okay, so let's see the Saturn. This is first of all 5th lord from the sun. Secondly, Saturn aspects 5th house from the moon. This is very important because that Saturn is retrograde, so its aspects on the 5th house from the moon will be very important, and that is even in 11th house of Vakri. It's like, we could say, denying, at least initially, denying the fruits from the moon perspective. Then in the Navamsha, Saturn is in the 5th from the 10th. So again, we have this 5th house and it's aspecting the 10th lord, moon, in the 8th house. So it's somehow, because it's Saturn, the Karaka, we could say it's opening that Dushtana. Now Arudha will jump definitely to Leo because she is working in the government sector, and then the Saturn is in 7th from Arudha, which is showing the badhaka. This is the obstruction. This is in the 9th house, which is showing a lack of fortune. Lack of fortune we can define here as something which is coming to you externally. You are either cannot control this or you didn't do it. It's you are feeling this is as fate, some external factors. Could be like government changes, company, suddenly there is some political change. This could be also something like being in the wrong time, in the wrong place, starting something in the wrong circumstances. Furthermore, Saturn being in the own sign is giving the results of Venus, and now we are coming to the Rajabanga Yoga, because the 5th lord, when it's in Dushtana, then it is causing going down from some influential position. And 3rd house, we could define this as a mild dushtana normally, but here it could be a little bit more problematic because the Mars, which is the Karaka, is debilitated in the second house. Since the astrological configuration which was active during this time wasn't very auspicious. Particularly the prominence of the 5th house and the intricate placement of the Saturn was here guilty for the whole situation. So there you have it. I truly hope you find this video interesting and informative. If it resonated with you or added some value to your day, please give it a big thumbs up. If you have any thoughts, questions or insights, drop them down in the comment section. For those of you who are new to the channel, warm welcome and please consider subscribing to stay updated with our latest content. Thank you so much for joining us in that celestial journey, and if you're eager for more exploration like this, check out this video here.